Okay, so in the water company needs to build some new drainage channels. This project involves 8 activities A to H, and the minimum completion time is 18 weeks. So they've told me there, we know that the critical path is 18 weeks, or when you get to the end of the network flow, if we're doing a flow chart, it'll be 18. Okay, so the table below shows the immediate predecessors and the duration. So we've got a predecessor table. And the first activity is asking us to draw the network below. So what I wanted to bring to your attention is like how we find the dummies again. So if we remember, we can see we have A by itself, but then we also have A together. So remember we said when we have that, that means there's a dummy, and we say that the dummy comes from the letter by itself. So from the end of A, and it'll go to the start of the activity that has the combo. So to the start of D. So if you look down there, they've already started the diagram for us, and you can see it's come from the end of A to the start of D. So they've got that one there. But there is another one, and so I just wanted to show you, this is when it's a bit different. Now, we can see it's like here we've got D and E as a combo, and it's by itself there, and then it's with an extra. So when we see it like that, what we're going to say is that there's going to be a dummy that comes from, so you're going to talk about the ones by itself. So it's going to come from D and E, and then it will go to the start of, sorry, this pen is really starting up, and it'll go to the start of H. So that, if we know that, it can make it easier drawing the diagram. So when you see from D and E, it means D and E must join together. So you must see like D and E must come in together, because then this dummy is going to come out of that. So let's off we go and finish drawing this network. So they've gotten up to, they've done this one, they've done this one, they've done that. They're up to activity E. So E comes straight out of A. So we've got E. Now remember I said don't end them until you finish. So E, and it takes a duration of 7. Then we've got F, and it comes out of D and E. Now I know that's got the dummy, and I already knew that that means D and E were joined together. So I'm just going to draw it down there now. And so then I know that F came out of that. And I've got F, and F has a duration of 3. All right, so we've done these two. Now we've got G coming out of A. Now, because I knew this dummy, I'm going to fix this dummy up. So because it said it came from D and E to the start of H. So there's the end of D and E. So then we've got this, say we've got this dummy, and it's saying it goes to the start of H. So I've got H somewhere happening there. So I'm going to put H there. And then, so I've actually done that. And then G said it came from A, but H has G also, so that means it connects into there. So I've got G, and G went to a 6. Now these two are ending. They don't, so they go to the end. And I don't need to sort of worry. They told me that this was 18 weeks. So off I go, and I can work backwards. So when we want to go do the backwards, I always say let's do all the boxes, because if we look down further, they have asked us to do earlier starting times and later starting times. So we should have read that in reading time, and we should be knowing we're going to be drawing our boxes. Yep. So here, sorry, the pen's playing up again. There we're going to do, this is G's there and E is there. Down here, I've got C. I've got activity D. Here, I've got F. And here is H. Okay, so off I go. Let's go and do, we should get 18, so I'm just going to try. So oops, I didn't draw 2 boxes there. So A and B are 0. If I go along A, it will be 8 to the start of E and G. Now, because of that dummy, I'm going to put 8 there to see what I get up to. So C begins with 5, and then if I add 4 and 5, that's 9. So 9's the bigger one, so I take that. So also, if I go from E and down to F, 8 plus 7 is 15. I'm just going to pop it there, and then I check along the bottom. 9 plus 5 is 14, so 15 is the bigger one, so I pop that in there. And sorry, I should have had the arrow on the dummy. So I've got 15 sitting here, but if I go from G, 8 plus 6 is 14, so 15's bigger, so I pop the 15 in there. Now 15 plus 2 would have been 17. Now 15 plus 3 is 18, and that's where the 18 came. So then we go backwards. 18 via F would be 15. Now if I go back to the 18 minus 2 would be 16. So then if you go back via, let's go, we're at F, and if I go back 15 minus 7 is 8. If I went back via E, now if I'm at H and I do 16 minus 6, that would be 10 up there. So 8's the smaller one, so that would be the one you use. So 8 minus 8, so there's the critical path there. Now back at F, going along D, 15 minus 5 is 10. And then via, so 10 minus 4 is 6, and then 6 minus 5 is 1. So now what's the earliest starting time for H? The earliest is the first one, so 15 weeks. And what is the latest starting time for C? Is 6 weeks. Reading off that. So I just really wanted I just didn't show the whole of this question. It's that dummy that I want you to know. I think this, if you have this, you're going to be a lot quicker if you know that. Okay, so with this question, it said it's a maximum flow. So you want to know what is the maximum number of visitors that goes from the start to the end. So just wanted to go through this just to practice how we do it. So remember, I said you start at the top. So we want to go along every option, and if you start at the top and work your way down, that it'll make sure that you've taken everything into account. So I'm going to start at this 13. So I'm pushing 13 through here, and then 13 can go through the 34 pipe, and then you go through the 56. So what I say is I got 13 there, and I'm just writing what I've taken out of those things. Now that one's done. There's no more that could be pushed out of there because we've used all 13. So then I've got the 18. So the 18 comes through here. The highest part it could go through is there, and then it can go into this 56. So I'm going to, 18 drops to 16, and then I can get 16 through. So I've done 16 of this, and I've used 16 of that one. So I'll cross him out. He's done now. So then I've got down, I'm going to use the 31. So out comes 31, and then the first option is to go through the 9, and yep, another 9 can be added into here. So I've used 9, and I've used 9 out of 31. So then I can still got more to come through this 31. So I'll go through that. So I've pretty much got 22 left. So I can push 15 through this pipe and 15 up through the 17. So this is where I'm adding, I've used 15. So I've pushed 15 through here. So he's done, and I've added another 15 to there. So I'm up to, in this 31 pipe, I'm up to 24. So I still have 7 left, but I also have 2 left here. So what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to try and fill that up first. So I'm going to go through push 2 through here through the 20. So I've used 2, and I've used 2 along here, and then I'm going to push 2 up through the 17, and that will add that in there. And that's that done, that one done. But if I add up, I've got to check that this is not filling up. So at the moment, I'm up to 13 and 16, that's 29, plus another 8 is 30, what did I say? 38, plus another 15 is 53, and then 55. So this is done. I can't push any more in there, but it got up to 55. Okay, because this pipe's now full, no more is leading into that. So along the so then what I've got to do is, what I've still got some left in this 31 pipe. If I look at it, I've got 9 plus 15, that's 24, plus 2 is 26. So I still have another 5. So I'm going to see if I can push this 5, can go down through the 20, can go along here. So, and then I can push 5 through there. So I've done that, and now this one's full. So then if I push, so I'm up to 7 here. So if I push 18 can get through the 32 pipe, that's okay. But when I get to here, there's only 16 left. So I'm going to add 16 here. So I've added 16, and I've actually taken 16 from here. So then we had the full 21 there. So we end up with 76. Okay, with this last question, it said a group of students can set out on a walk, and they can all walk together in a group, and they are the only people visiting the site in the hour. So they're saying that's the only group that's going to be pushing through. So that's like the chunk of flow. So what is the maximum number of students that could go through? So if you are looking at this, so what you first want to do, so you want to look at you're probably best to rub all that out if you can. So I'm going to rub that out, or keep it as the same if you want, and use a different color. But just so that you can see, I just want to see. What you want to look for is, first of all, at the entries coming into the network. So you've got 13, a group of, at the moment, it could be 13, 18, 31, or 18. So let's try and push the biggest. So I'm going to go with the 31. So I push through 31, and 31, now the biggest way is where they could go is this way. So then I'm down to 20. So I can only put 20 through. So already my group has dropped. And then, but I can push 20 through here, and I can push 20 through there. So the biggest group is going to be 20. I just thought, when you get those big groups and they're only by yourselves, go back and start again and refresh, because it's not the same as when we have this maximum flow, because we've got multiple things coming into it. When we have this, they're saying it's just one group, one flow is coming in. So which one is it? So that's what we do.